morning, as I'm your moderator, Seb. So, next session is going to kick off by Seb, my good friend from Canada. So, most probably Seb can better introduce himself, but Seb is a dreamer and is going to talk about making the dream workplace for your employees.
Thanks, Elio. So yes, I'm definitely a dreamer. I love to dream about the future of the workplace. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Sébastien Levert. I am coming directly to you from the beautiful city of Montreal, Canada. So I might actually be the first, I don't know, I think I'm the first non-European speaker today, just before the happy hour. It's 9 a.m. here, beautiful sun outside. So it's even more of a dream setup for me to be able to kind of go through all these different things today. As I said, my name is Sébastien. I am the product lead at Valo. I think you've heard a little bit about what we do. But I wanted to kind of, before we go into the actual topic of our session, do a little bit of a kind of a recap around what we are actually doing at Valo and what we believe in and where we want to lead our different solutions. And and I'm going to come back to the home slide. In the way that I'm going to position this session is really a way to you're going to get key takeaways of what are different steps. And I think there's like 5 different core capabilities or 5 steps that will make your employees empowered to make them build the workplace of their dreams. We really believe in the employee experience at Valo rather than just the user experience or the features. We really believe in the employee experience inside the digital workplace, and we're going to really focus on that during this session. What we believe in how we need to lead as an organization. We believe that, especially in 2020, the context of this conference or this virtual event is really interesting. We're at the tail, or hopefully at the tail, of the COVID crisis. And we believe that the digital workday experience is not becoming, but is now the new normal. And every single company is fully digital. Every company needs to think digital before they even go and be more in the on-premises, in their own on-premises, in their offices, in their plants, in their warehouses. We really believe that the workday experience is what drives employees, to drive them to onboard an organization, but also to make sure that every company is digital. Something we also believe in that we're pushing to, and pushing a lot of our own internal engineering at Valo too, is we believe that Microsoft offers the best platform to build the digital workplace. But Microsoft is offering a set of Legos, and there's a lot of people on that call that are Lego lovers. I can already tell you that. And we believe that Microsoft offers exactly the same thing. A bunch of different Legos that can be used all together to build your digital workplace in order to create that workday experience. So today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the technologies that are around Microsoft, but we're going to stay on the let's call it on the soft side of things also over there. What brought us here? Here is kind of our last 5 years at Valo. And we've been all over the place. We won awards here and there, left and right. But this is all because of our customers that are teaching us about their own workday experience, their own digital workplace. And thanks to all these customers that we have around the world, we are able today to kind of share all the learnings, all the different bits of learning experience that all these customers have been going through with their own digital workplace experience. So today is really kind of a way to grab this experience from all our customers around the world, to put that in a set of slides, and at the end to also uncover what is at Valo our vision of the digital workplace, and how you can really empower your employees to build the workplace of their dreams. So first, we're going to start with this agenda. That's what's going to lead the way around. First, we have the topic around that you need to transition from the intranet to the digital workplace. It's not about a single platform anymore. It's about a ton of different platforms that are surrounding you, and making sure that these platforms are well connected to offer productivity. Our second topic will be around the crowdsourced communication. How do we bring the communication from everybody? How do we bring that aspect of empowering our users so much that they become part of the solution, part of the content creation team? Afterwards, we're going to talk about the collaboration. Why collaboration is needed. Why collaboration is kind of your future success. Why productivity is important in the world of communication. As a fourth point, we're going to talk about co-innovation. Once you grab everybody to help you communicate, once everybody is collaborating, how can we bring it even more to the next level? How can we empower your employees to really have a voice and being heard in your workplace? And finally, we're going to say we need to adjust to your employees' workflow. Be there where they are, not bring them to where you want them to be. Let's be part of their daily lives as an information worker in your organization. All of this, we'll talk about some of the technologies that are available in the Microsoft ecosystem. But something that is really important to kind of notice is, how can we map it back to some of the tech that exists in SharePoint in Microsoft today? Are we talking that SharePoint is dead? Are we thinking that some of the pages we've built will never be seen because now people are spending their time in Microsoft Teams? So keep that thought in mind during that session, because you're going to see at the end that a lot of people are asking the question, SharePoint versus Teams. What is better? When do you use A? When do you use B? Today, we're going to kind of understand how we can actually use them together to build an even better workplace experience. So from the intranet to the digital workplace, we believe that the first thing that is really important is to transform your platforms. Today, you might be the owner of an intranet as a content editor, or you might be owner of a site in an intranet, or you might be owner of Microsoft Teams, or change management as part of your entire organization strategy. Transforming your platforms will allow you to build a digital workplace that is connected to key systems. We highly believe that gone are the days that SharePoint should do everything, from a ticket system to a HR system to an information system to a collaboration system to a communication system. Gone are these days. Today, we believe that your organization is probably using tens of different systems in tens of different providers. And we agree, this is the path forward. This is the way to do. Why? You want to make sure you have a system that really answers or responds to your own needs. But when you have tens and tens and tens of different systems, what does it mean? What does it mean from a ease of use perspective, from a user experience perspective? Well, all these systems are all over the place. You have one which is one URL. You have another one which is a an application, you have another one, which is another website. It's really hard. It's hard to understand where you're at. It's hard to understand where are all those resources. Building the digital workplace as a connection, as an integration between all these systems will make it a lot more successful and will really bring your users to come back. It also means that your intranet or that system or that site that you're using as an intranet as a way to inform your users is not just about the corporate news anymore. It's not a newspaper that you're reading. You're going to the intranet or the digital workplace to kind of really get the full-blown experience, not just the corporate news anymore. So the productivity is important. And if you don't make this platform productive or highly productive, it's going to be a failure. So productivity will make the employee experience delightful. Think about your employee experience. Think about your users or employees as in their ways of utilizing and being productive in your own environment, in your own organization. It's not just to inform them, it's to empower them to be more powerful, to be more productive, to be more collaborative with everybody. So by transforming your platforms to bring the key systems all together and make it in a productivity first approach, this will really transition you from an intranet to a digital workplace. You also want to crowdsource your communication. You might have a more of an old concept, or I would say more a conservative concept of having a top-down communication approach, where news and communications are owned by the communication department or the HR or even marketing. It's still pretty good today for corporate communications. The most important information or the most important news are about the organization. Yes, I do believe this is quite important. But we believe that it's more than that today, that we're in a world where it's a lot more important. We believe that content is king. And your community, your employees, your partners, your external users, your C-levels, everybody knows what's best. They know what they want. They know what they like to read from a content. They know like what type of information they want to have, what type of applications they want to get to. So by keeping the concept of content is king, why don't you bring your users to create that content? To create the content based on their own responsibilities, based on their own thoughts, based on their own reflections, based on their own ideas. So empowering your employees by giving them the right to create content about their own project, about their own team, will first be super interesting for other teams to learn, hey, how is it happening in that team? It's okay to over communicate. I prefer over communication than not enough communication. So more in that case is more. It's going to be more engaging for everybody. The second way that you can crowdsource your information back inside your environment is to listen to the market. Your market has a lot to tell you. You don't probably even know about it, but they have a lot to tell you. Why don't you bring the different Twitters of your competitors inside your intranet as a dashboard of the social activity of your top 3 competitors, so you know what is happening. And also you showcase that to everybody in the organization, that your top 3 competitors are company A, B, and C, and they're doing that. Be transparent. Don't hide this to your users. Bringing this information will also help you act upon it. Connect to their blog RSS feed, or you can get the latest from their blogs. And when you see that they're out and they just promoted a new product, well, at least you know what is happening rather than hiding in your own corner. And when you're going to launch your own offering, realizing that they did it 6 months ago, but you were not really looking at it. So bringing information from the outside could be from your competition, from the global market, could be from a lot of places. This will really bring a lot of value to your intranet or to your digital workplace. It's going to also enable the community in general to drive their engagement. Having a lot of content that is interesting and written by colleagues is a lot more interesting than content that is driven by corporate communications. It makes it more fun, more human, more transparent. When you get to this level, you will see a really, really high spike in engagement of your own platform. So empowering your employees is, we really believe, the key in a successful communication strategy in your digital workplace. Let's move on to the collaboration. In the end, we are all collaborating together at different levels, at a team level, at a department level, cross-functional levels. Everything is about collaboration. You get to speak, create content, discuss with a bunch of different people in your own organizations. What does it mean in the end for your users? How can you really push that in a way that will make this digital workplace a key system, a key environment, or even the environment where people want to go and collaborate? First of all, the first thing you want to do is to enable anybody to start a collaboration workspace as easy as possible. You want to be able, as a user, to say, hey, I want to work with person A, B, C, and D on a side project that we have, and a small idea that we have a little bit of time to work on that. I want to be able to start creating this right away. I don't want to have any barrier. I don't want to have any blocking. I don't want to have anything. I want to be able right away to get on and start working with these people. So requesting a workspace where you can have all the great tools of the Microsoft 365 platform. You might want to use a planner plan. You might want to use OneNote. You might want to use SharePoint. You want to use Teams probably as a way to communicate. All these tools, they have to be ready out of the gate. You want to be able to go in, request a new site, and boom, get it. But as an IT admin, you don't want to lose control over your environment. There's a lot of different capabilities that you want to enforce, maybe, or that you think your users are not ready yet to explore this solution or this solution. Maybe you want, or maybe you're using, for example, a third-party system for your project management, and you want to ensure that every single project management task is stored in this system. So when you create a team, you all automatically get a planner plan. Do you really want to get a planner plan in that case? Maybe you want to put on hold the rollout of planner until you figured out how to bring that data back to that in-house system or third-party system. So you want to predefine your scenarios. Okay, I'm creating a project. These tools will be available. You're creating a team. These other tools will be available. You're creating something else. These tools will be available. But you also want to make sure that in some more complicated or more advanced scenarios, maybe you want to govern that process also. Maybe you want to, when you're creating a new high visibility project, maybe it has to go through a full set of approvals. Maybe you want to have your project management office or your PMO to accept the request and move forward with it in the end, to push your users to, okay, we're going to go through a process, but as soon as the process is approved, you're going to get your team to collaborate. So you want to think about this. To also force efficiency in the collaboration space, we highly encourage you to look at Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams is really an amazing area where you can go, start your day, and never leave Teams and still be productive throughout the entire day. You will be able to leverage some of its magic powers that we like to call in Microsoft Teams. One of them being automatic editing of content right from Microsoft Teams, also powered by some co-editing capabilities. You're 3 people together working on a single document. When was the last time you sent an email with like _version Sébastien _1.0 to review .final.finally was not final .powerpoint or PPTX? I've done that 1,000 times in the past. Why? Because that was the only way that we could really accomplish this back in the days. But now with Microsoft Teams, all documents are centralized in a single area. Everybody has access to the same documents, can open a document and start contributing to that document in a click. You don't even need to wait for somebody to send you the email. No, you always have the latest version. And the latest version is worked on by multiple people at a time. How successful will that be? You're going to spend a lot more time contributing to the success of your organization, really build the workplace of your dreams and the production of your dreams without even having to really lose time in communicating back and forth with your colleagues. But always remember, it's not only about Microsoft 365. If you're thinking about collaboration, you might be using other systems. We are a software company at Valo, and we do a lot of software. One of our key systems is our source control that is called Azure DevOps. That is kind of not that much in Microsoft 365, kind of a beast of its own. We want to make sure that when you're joining a team, that you can also have easy access to the backlog or to our current sprint that we're working on from our features. So integrating things that are outside the ecosystem of Microsoft 365 is absolutely key to the success of your digital workplace. Don't think that it's only about Microsoft 365, even though you might be the owner of the entire platform of Microsoft 365 or of parts of it. Remember that there's going to be other pieces around, other systems, in-house systems, outsourced systems, SaaS systems that you're buying in. Give them a place inside your digital workplace, because yes, you're collaborating a lot in Microsoft 365, but you're also collaborating in other systems. Make them available so you can be productive for any system and not just for the ones that are Microsoft bound. Let's talk a little bit about co-innovation. Co-innovation will enable you to reinvent your workplace. And I really believe that this is a key fundamental of having a great digital workplace. It's to empower your employees to innovate with each other to push your organization further. And that's where the swarm intelligence comes to the rescue. You have a bunch of small bees all around the workplace. They all have amazing ideas. And we all had in the past something called the idea bank. Ideas at company.com. We're sending the idea there. You took, I don't know, an hour to write this really, really massive email, bunch of pictures in there. It's great. Then nobody reads that inbox. I think it's a nice suggestion from the organization to listen to ideas, but if it's not there, if it's not in the face of everybody, people will forget about it. Also, with an email, you're not involving your colleagues. Your colleagues might have something to say about one of these topics. Listen to them. Your employees have ideas. Listen to them. Bring everybody around this idea. contributing to the idea, adding insights. Liking an idea is kind of a gesture that says, you know what, I approve. I want this to be executed. I want this to happen. I want this to be the next big project at our organization. It's also a great way to motivate your workforce. Seeing your face as the top contributor in ideas and as the top number of ideas that were actually executed in the end is great. Suggesting ideas is always just the beginning of the path, beginning of the journey. Delivering the idea is totally different. Let's make sure that we have the way to motivate your workforce. Build systems that bring people in, bring their ideas in, kind of cook them all together. And when they're ready, you want to be able to motivate this team to say, hey, great job, you did amazing. But something that is even more important, make everybody part of this process. Make it so easy that everybody will embrace it the day it's on. Make it so easy that anybody on the factory floor can bring their phone, open your application, send their ideas and say, that's the best idea I have, and just send it. And let the process take care of it. Let the swarm intelligence come into play and really poke left and right the right people, making sure that, hey, this is a really good idea. Hey, John, what do you think? Do you have anything to add to this? And then see the intelligence of your entire organization come into play to deliver the ideas you might have in mind. Co-innovation is often a thing that is forgotten in the best digital workplaces in the world. Your employees have ideas. They have a voice. They have thoughts. They have ambitions. Let them listen to them. Create something that makes it easy for them to drop. It's going to make your digital workplace improve, because some of the ideas that will come up from this is, we'd like to start utilizing this software, or we'd love to be able to integrate this other platform, or we'd love to collaborate in this fashion. Now you have the tools to make it available. That's really going to empower your workforce to build that famous digital workplace of their dreams. Finally, we really believe that you need to adjust to your employee workflow. 20 years ago, I was, well, not 20 years ago, I was not actually working 20 years ago, but 15 years ago, I was spending my life in my inbox. Email all the time. And then in system A, and then in system B, and then in system C, and then it was all over the place. Today, I spend a vast majority of my time in Microsoft Teams. A good example is I'm actually presenting right now from Microsoft Teams, which is one of its aspects. So why wouldn't we be there when the users are there? Delivering solutions through the platforms that our users are using is a really, really important aspect. If you are heavy users of Outlook, for instance, why don't you build an add-in to Outlook that connects to your backend systems and bring some really, really interesting or even contextualized information about the current email and maybe your CRM right in there, or maybe your help desk system, or maybe your HR and employee system, where you can map some of the users you get or employees you get emails from and their records you have in your HR system. It's going to make their lives easier because you're going to send an email and going to get a more contextualized answer from you. But it's good. I said here, make their lives easier, not yours, as a system integrator. But it's going to also make the digital workplace life easier because you won't have to look for a system. The system will be where you're using. A good example is the way that Teams is being utilized today. Teams has a lot of functionality like apps that you can add. You can add bots, you can add tabs, you can add extensions. And all of these are fully baked, fully native to the Microsoft Teams application. What does it mean? It means that it follows you. You actually did it. You delivered a solution through a platform that the user is using. It's on their phone. It's on their desktop. It's in the web if they don't have access to their full client. It's always there. So when you're like, oh my God, I need to get back to this system. What's the URL already? I don't remember. Well, you go to your Teams, you go in the right context, and it's going to magically appear there. Try to bring your users on a journey. It's not about here's a software, here's a program, here's something, use it. No. Create a journey. Create an experience that brings you from A to Z. Bring an experience that really matters to you, that really brings the user on a journey that is meaningful for them, that changes their ways of working. It's going to push for great user experience, for great employee experience. And I think we kind of notice it all over the place. Well, Microsoft Teams is really, really becoming more than just a chat-based workplace. I love to call it the Cloud OS. It's kind of an operating system for the cloud. I can find my documents. I can find my conversation. I can find my discussions with my teams. I can find my third-party systems integrating directly inside Microsoft Teams. Literally, I could spend my entire day in Microsoft Teams and be able to be productive, get all the information I need, and be able to really deliver that great digital workplace experience. So those are the tips that I have for you. Go back here. Create something that transforms you from the intranet to the digital workplace. Crowdsource your communication channels. Think about collaboration as a key to your organization productivity. Try to push for co-innovation in order to reinvent your digital workplace, to have it in a continuous enhancement. And finally, adjust your solutions to your employee workflow. Think about your employees first. Create employee first experiences and not systems first experiences. Now, what I'd like to do is to give you a little bit of a demo of some of the areas that we think at Valo that we can provide some of these key information, some of these key systems that, or key integrations, key aspects I discussed today. So let me close this for now. I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to go to my intranet. This is our intranet. This is a platform that we have. It's been a long time we have this intranet solution at Valo, but this is like the start of our day. This is where we start our day. It's in SharePoint. It's somewhere. It's another URL in my. I have to remember, so it makes it a little bit more complicated. Then afterwards, I want to be productive. So I need to go to my one of our other solution, which is our Teamwork. So I can go here. Let me go right there. I'm going to go to this side, which is our Teamwork side, which is where I can see all the teams that I am a part of. I'm going to see it right from there. I can also request some of these groups. So I have another URL to remember. You see now I have two different URLs I have there. Then afterwards, I remember I have a solution to book a room that my team has built in Power Apps. And today I need to book a room. So how do I start that? Like, oh my God, where do I start that? So I go to powerapps.com, and then maybe it's going to ask me to sign in. Yeah, it's asking me to sign in. Then afterwards, I might get here the list of different apps that I have. Yes, I see here I have the book a room. Okay, let me go here. And now, okay, it looks like it's opening, and now I have my apps. Okay, so I will never remember that URL. Let's be honest here. It's impossible. So, okay, I have another one. Then, you see where I'm going with this. It's really hard to have all of these great systems, but not necessarily all integrated together. It makes it hard for everybody to kind of have a good understanding of the of all the different pieces that exists in our digital workplace. So at Valo, we decided, hey, let's tackle this challenge. Let's make sure that this challenge is not only a challenge that is a Valo challenge. It is a challenge that all organizations throughout the world are experiencing right now. There's so many systems, but not enough systems that bring all of them together. Sometimes the intranet here will allow you to have some links, some personalized area here. Okay, interesting. I might be able to have some of them and bring some of these integrations, but it's never as rich as a single platform that brings all together. So what we decided to do at Valo is to really embark the teams bandwagon and go all in with bringing all of these capabilities from SharePoint to our teamwork solutions, to our ideas solutions, to Power Apps, to Power BI, to any of the Microsoft 365 solutions directly back into Microsoft Teams. So what we did this. You can find here, actually I have it here, an app that is available as part of our left rail in Microsoft Teams. It's all there. Every single user has access to this app. And this makes it really, really, really powerful, because now, as a user, I have access to all these resources that I want to have access to. In the context of my intranet or of my digital workplace, these are the systems that I'm using on a daily basis. So why wouldn't I see them right there, all in a single UI that I can swap from one to the other depending on the needs that I have right now? So here, as you can see, I just embedded the exact same page as I have, where I can see my next events, the news that are happening around me. It's very communication driven, so it might not always be the best scenario here, but at least I can get my homepage to be there. I can go to my local news. I can see what are the past events, people around me, some pollings, all of this. You might not even have such a customized experience. And maybe you also have just an out-of-the-box SharePoint experience. That's way enough for you, and that's okay. That's why we also have support for native SharePoint. So here it's basically just a SharePoint site that was created using only out-of-the-box components, where I can see, hey, I have news, I have my weather right there, I have some stream videos in here, I have Twitter, I have Yammer integrations, I have some images and areas of my portal. So quite interesting as a way to, hey, I just want to showcase my main page that becomes the main page that will redirect you to make your work and be productive. Afterwards, we thought, hey, what about the user? The user wants to go and straight to the point. I want to see my news, the ones that I care about, the ones that are around me. One of the things we built is this capability. This capability is something that is all the news around myself. You see, there's news everywhere. There's news on the internet. There's news RSS feeds. There's news that are in my organization, in my corporate portal. There's news from my teams that I'm working with. And that's why we built kind of a dashboard of all the news. What's new around you? And creating an experience in Microsoft Teams that is around the specific user, the user that is currently connected, is really, really, really powerful, because it becomes something in the end that is attached to your own, really to your own stuff, to your own life, to your own team, to your own department. Really important. And afterwards, we have teamwork. Teamwork is a way to get a really good glimpse of all the teams you're a part of. If you enable people to create a lot of teams, you're going to have a lot of teams, because you're going to be invited here and there, and that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. We want to provide this capability. And here, you even have the ability to create a new site. Let's say I want to create a new department. I actually have the ability to go here and say, hey, you know what? This team, I love it so much that I want to clone it and make it a type of a team that I would love to be reusing in the future. And that's what I did here with department. It's kind of a copy of an existing that I have, the existing thing that I have. But I can go here and I can say, hey, I want to start working with Elio. We have an idea, we want to build a new product. Let's start with a small group of people. Let's start to ideate in that team. I can give it a title, a description, who will be working with me. And that's great because it gives you the power of selecting who's going to be with you. Do you want to allow external users or not? A couple of metadata on top of it. And then afterwards, when you're done, you can just hit finish. Depending on the type of these sites, we will be providing or not processes. Think about maybe when you're creating a steering group, which is usually a very standard procedure, standard operating procedures for a steering group, it needs to go through an approval. So you might want to create your own workflow using Microsoft Flow and say, okay, when there's a new steering group, I'd love to have the CEO of the organization to approve it, to make sure it's relevant, to make sure it doesn't add to the existing, like that it's really useful in the end. So each of these different types of group or sites that you want to create are all customizable and have their own type of processes. Something also that is really hard is to find content in Teams. Have you ever tried to look and search for content using this search bar in Microsoft Teams? It's horrible. It's really not a great experience. And it feels like a disconnected experience. I'm always saying we need to bring everything back together, but how do you search in SharePoint and in Microsoft Teams at the same time? Well, there's no way. It's impossible. So we really believe that bringing an enterprise search experience to enable people to search for content. So I'm looking for QT300, which is one of our model we're building, and now I just found it. I found that document that if I click on it, what do I want to have? I want to have an experience that keeps me in Teams. I said earlier that, hey, when I'm in Teams, I want to stay in Teams because I'm productive in Microsoft Teams. When I click on this, automatically I'm being redirected to the document, and now I can start providing new content and start a new report right here. Automatically saved, I hit close, and automatically I'm being brought back to where I was earlier in my enterprise search as part of this application. People, you have a lot of systems outside of your Microsoft 365 to bring people together. Here, we really believe that having that great experience to search for people, but also let's say I'm looking for Kate here. Okay, so I just found Kate. We're not really using phone anymore. Are we still using phone anymore? Not that much. Are we really using emails internally in the team? Not that much. What are we using? We're using IM. We're using instant messaging with our team. So what happens here? I can just go here and click on Kate and say, hey, Kate, I have a question. And now fully integrated with the native component of Microsoft Teams. I never left Teams. I didn't go to another systems to initiate a discussion. All from within Teams right there. Let me just do that here. I'm gonna go back to our hub here. I said earlier, integrating with third-party systems. One of the third-party systems we see more and more is Power Apps. Power Apps is a great environment, but here you can see I can have the exact same app I had earlier here as part of my digital workplace right here. So I can start and book for an existing meeting and start doing utilizing this app in a single click. Same thing with Power BI. I can just bring my team scorecard and start really playing around the month of June, seeing how it goes, clicking on South, like fully interactive reports directly from here. And finally, maybe you want to have the last all hands meeting that is always visible for everybody as part of Microsoft Stream. And now I can just hit play and start seeing that video. So this experience really brings everything together. And the best part of this experience is that it's fully customizable. So you can, as an organization, you can decide, hey, these are the areas that I really care about. I was also saying that you want to push for co-innovation. We have a solution at Valo fully integrated in Microsoft Teams that really brings that to the next level. And one of the ways that we're actually doing this is through an application called Valo Ideas. Valo Ideas is not only a great solution, it's a way to see visually all your ideas. This is all the ideas that were suggested by my organization. You see here, I have a virtual happy hour, or maybe I want to start. We have a cooking enthusiast team right there, and this cooking enthusiast is working on. We're gonna build the best veggie burger ever. So okay, that's great. You're allowed, or other teams are in that case of um, um, remote meetings. People want to have better ways of stretching or keep the pace high when you're on at home. And here you can see all of this again, fully integrated. Think about teams. I'm in teams. Where do you have an idea? Is when you're in teams. So for example, when I'm in my channel, I'm discussing with my remote meetings folks, and I have an idea. I just click here. You see a light bulb. Everybody knows what a light bulb is. It means I have an idea. I just click on it, and automatically here, I'm gonna see my idea form pop up. I have an idea. Here's the title. Here's the description. It benefits our team. It has a category of fun. I can just hit submit, and automatically my idea was submitted. So I was saying being part of the workflow is important. This is exactly what being part of the workflow means. Being there as part of the Microsoft Teams experience as a way to really, really, really embrace all of this. Something that we also really believe in is the tight integration from our products back to Teams. A good example, I'm here, I have a great dashboard of all my teams. These are all the teams, a lot more compact than any other views you've ever seen with Microsoft Teams. Here I have a really good example of what's in there. And I want to go, I'm part of that product manager. I see it's part of Microsoft Teams. There's a team behind it. If I click on product managers, I don't want to be redirected to a site, or I don't want to be redirected to anything. When I click, I want to go inside the product managers site and team. And when I click on it, now I'm now in my product managers, and I see what's in there. And I see that when I created it, automatically, I decided, hey, I want to have some apps already in there because this product management team is based out of this template. I want to have the app that is Valo Ideas, but I also want to have my wiki that is already in there. And I'll also have all of these different channels already pre-created. Bringing all these tools together kind of answers the question, do we want to have SharePoint or do we want to have Teams? What we believe at Valo is, in your digital workplace, with or without a Valo solution backing this, we believe that the integration of both SharePoint and Microsoft Teams brings the best of your digital workplace. It is the best way for you to bring your users all together in a single digital workplace that is integrated with a bunch of different third parties directly from this small control right there, where you can have these book a room, but also any other things you might have internally. Brings people to create the content together because it's part of teams where you're very productive, enhance your collaboration, brings your co-innovation together thanks to a solution like Valo Ideas, and finally really integrates within the user workflow. This becomes the workplace of your dreams. You transition from the intranet to the digital workplace. You crowdsource your communication channels to make it super easy for everybody to use anywhere at any time. Your collaboration became a lot more productive because it's part of the daily work. It's part of where you go to discuss about a topic. Everything happens there. You brought everybody to co-innovate because now it's part again of Microsoft Teams. So if you have an idea, it's not just starting a thread. No, it's to start an idea campaign. It's to start to bring people all together in your ideas. And finally, by adjusting it to your employee workflows, bring it back to Microsoft Teams, we really believe that being where the user is the key to make your application, digital workplace, engaging, adopted, and a clear success. It's becoming literally the workplace of your employees' dreams. I really hope that this kind of lighted up some ideas you might have for your own digital workplace. I'll be happy to take any question at this point. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked some of the different products that we showcased in there, Valo Intranet, Ideas, Teamwork, Valo for Teams. But I really want to make sure that you get the grasp of it, which is the following: transform your intranet into a digital workplace to gain from all of these clear aspects, and it's going to make your digital workplace the best workplace you've ever had. I'll be happy to take any question at this point. Feel free to unmute yourself, raise your hand if you want. And if not, I will wait for a couple of minutes. But if not, you're also free to
we
go.
have a question.
Yes.
From Eve. Go ahead.
Hi, Sébastien.
Hi.
I'd like to know, is the Valo Hub integration is available from Valo, or is it an add-on?
So that's a good question. So it's called Valo for Teams for now, kind of a code name for now. But it is heavily being worked on right now and is going to be in preview state during the summer. So you will be able to get access to this kind of solution during the summer.
And also, what's the licensing about it?
The licensing is part of our subscription model of Valo Fresh. So any customer utilizing Valo Fresh will automatically get access to Valo for Teams.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Next one.
Hey, Seb, I got a question. This is Rez.
Hey, Rez.
For the Valo Hub Teams integration,
Yes.
is it extended upon the out-of-the-box capability where you're just exposing a website within a personal app? Have you guys done a lot of work there to make sure it's above and beyond that, so that all of those links within Teams stay within Teams, etc.?
Exactly. That's exactly the case. So it's all wrapped up in this app. So that's exactly the case. So it's really a lot more than just wrapping up a URL inside a Teams app. It's all authentication. It's all management of everything. So it's really making, when I say adjust your employees' workflow and be there in Teams and keep them in Teams, that's kind of our foundational motto here at Valo. So we want to make sure that we're always there inside Teams. So it's very, very contextualized to the current Teams.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Next.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is it possible to have different, more than one hub within one organization?
Yes. So you can have either from a maybe a language perspective, maybe a different intranet based on language, based on roles, based on these. This is absolutely possible. So either you have them as different tabs or different apps, and you can push them to different set of peoples inside your organization. You can literally audience and be very, very specific in who can see which hubs, or you can also just tag along and get as many hubs as you want for any users. Both options are fully possible.
Okay, very good.
Thank you. Anyone else has any question?
No hands are raised anymore. So
That's okay. I'm gonna give you back your. Actually, I already took 5 minutes over the. I think what is following right now is the happy hour. So you're all invited to stay in this room, and we are gonna do our first happy hour, so our European happy hour during the Valo Fest. Please stay around, grab your drinks, grab the recipe from the Valo Fest website. All the instructions will also be given by our animation team that's gonna follow me here. Thanks everybody for staying around. I hope it was useful in your digital workplace journey in the future. And I will wish you a great end of your day, beginning of your day, a great night, wherever you are on the planet. I can tell you that based on the people that I saw that was in the room, we were covering the entire world from Australia to the Pacific Southwest. So quite interesting. And I wish you a great day. Hope you liked it. And please stay on. The Valo Fest is still on for the next like 18 hours or something. So we're just at the beginning. Cheers, everybody.
Thank you very much, Seb.